This has been an event that's been happening all over the world, Marky. It started a few weeks ago in England, over two major RAF bases, Royal Air Force bases in England. But I'm getting reports from here in Australia, where I am, China, Russia, parts of Europe. There are sightings happening all over the world of extraordinary so-called drones or objects.
So that is what is happening. The drones are a predictable launch of a diversion area and a confusing event. They're certainly not extraterrestrial in HI. The pop culture now is
not extraterrestrial. Okay.
Term in HI craft. It's clear that they're able to have assets that are ground-based or in SIFs, subterranean facilities, or what some people call DOMs, deep underground military bases.
Kung nangyayari nga yan sa mga bansa tulad ng US, ng UK, ng Russia, iba pang mga powerful nations, what more sa Pilipinas or any third world countries, ano? Di ba? So, I think it's about time din sa ating mga officials dito sa Pilipinas to get ready kung may mga ganito mga problema na maharap natin in the future. Kasi di natin alam kung ano ito, no?
So this is a PSYOP, psychological warfare operation. We predicted it. We've been predicting it for 25 years. If you read my paper that I wrote in 1999, it's on our website, StephenGreer.com, and it states very pointedly that the actors who are keeping this secret will take the momentum of disclosure and try to turn it into an alien invasion scenario.
And it's clear to see that what's happening and what's going on is something that's contrived and actually planned. You really get an idea, a sensation that this is something that they're trying to make so salacious. Like Dr. Greer said, eventually they're building up to how can we make money off of this UAP situation. They've already gone to every country and blown everybody up to bring quote-unquote democracy. There's nobody else to take over. There's no more banks to install in other countries and puppet dictators to install. The last place is the space race. And how do you monetize that? They're tired of being held accountable for trillions of missing dollars that happen, every single quarter. They can't find this money. And now they can have a great excuse as to where the money actually went and say, look, this is what we did with it. It's been approved. We're building these space weapons. We have to defend Earth against these outside forces.
Magandang gabi, mga kamisteryo. Sa mga nakatutok sa ating YouTube channel, Ray's Divine Adventure. And of course, Gabi ng Misteryo. Very controversial and very interesting yung swarm ng mga drone in the US sa Amerika. Pero nakakakabalan dito, kung nangyayari yan sa isang bansa tulad ng US, baka mangyari yan sa ibang mga bansa, no? Di ba? In fact, sa ilang mga reports sa Estados Unidos, based na rin sa kanilang mga nakuha mga information, talagang may mga drone sightings, maybe UFO sightings, drone sightings sa iba't ibang mga lugar sa buong mundo. Kaya naman UFO kasi unidentified flying objects, although yung mga nakikita in the US ay mga drone. They fly very close to military bases, to sensitive facilities sa Estados Unidos. Kaya ang dami nangangamba. They need some answers from the government. Pati kanila mga officials ay nanawagan na na magkaroon na ng definite na sagot sa kanilang mga tanong, kasi ang usual na sagot lang ay hindi naman daw threat sa kanilang national security, and they assure the public na hindi ito galing sa foreign countries or no threats sa ibang bansa. Kasi nung una, sa mga unang mga reports, ay sinasabi na ito raw ay marahil ay galing sa isang mothership, a mothership or a ship, ha, kung saan ito raw ang nagpapalipad ng drone. Ha. Ang may binabanggit na bansa, Iran daw. Pero ito'y pinasinungalingan na ng Pentagon. So, hindi raw totoo yun. Based doon sa sinasabi ng isang congressman dyan sa New Jersey. Si Congressman, pangalan mo nun ay Jeff Van Drew. Ayan na. Anyway, so now, marami mga nagtatanong kung walang definite na sagot from Federal Bureau of Investigation, sa mga authorities in the US. I don't know kung meron nang nilabas na statement ang CIA, pero mukhang wala namang statement. Ang Pentagon ay naglabas na ng statement na sinasabing wala daw, mali yung mga unang haka-haka, no, na ito'y galing sa ibang bansa. Ngayon, ang concern ng mga residents in the US and maybe some other parts of the world, kasi may mga sightings na rin sa ibang mga lugar. Ito pa, kita ko sa inyo isang report sa local news in the US na sinasabi meron na talaga mga reported sightings of, well, sabihin natin UFOs or drones sa ibang mga bansa. Ha? Hindi lang sa US. Ipakita ko sa inyo to. Ha? Ito, sabi, drone sightings reported around the world. Reported by News Nation, Morning in America. Pakinggan natin to.
There's mounting frustration over the government's lack of answers on mysterious drones flying over the East Coast right now. Lawmakers spent this week combing through what little is really known about them right now. The Pentagon saying they're not ours. FBI and Homeland Security say they don't appear foreign or from an enemy. And there's been no threat to the public. Joining me now is News Nation special correspondent Ross Coldhart. Ross, good morning to you. It's like no matter what way you slice it, we got a problem, right? If it's Russia or Iran behind it, there's a problem. If we simply don't know who it is, that's a problem.
Well, good morning, firstly, and can I say, let's hope it's aliens, because if it's Russia or China, we have a very serious problem. And this is the issue. The government has now admitted that we are of the view that it's not a foreign adversary government, a foreign adversary of any kind, and moreover, it's not US technology, US government technology, or US military technology, which doesn't leave very much. All it leaves is the possibility of some dissident rogue group in government or maybe some private contractor that's doing the wrong thing. It really does put us in an extraordinary position because what's happening at the moment, Marky, is I'm being besieged with angry people from places not just New Jersey, but all over the United States, who are telling me that they're really angry that the White House has suggested that this is a misidentification. Unfortunately, yesterday, Admiral John Kirby, the national security spokesman, pushed the line that people in New Jersey particularly are misidentifying manned aircraft all the time for these drones and suggesting that there's something anomalous about them. And people in New Jersey are very angry because they've seen these things for themselves. They know they're not normal drones. They're seeing them do increasingly weird things. They want answers and they don't like being gaslit by the White House.
Yeah, and there were just sightings in California, right? Temecula. So this is now no longer just a New Jersey, East Coast problem, Ross.
It never has been, and again, there's been some very clever spin on this, but this has been an event that's been happening all over the world, Marky. It started a few weeks ago in England, over two major RAF bases, Royal Air Force bases in England, but I'm getting reports from here in Australia, where I am, China, Russia, parts of Europe. There are sightings happening all over the world of extraordinary so-called drones or objects that appear to look like drones, and incredibly, the government here cannot give us any answers. They seem...
Okay, so yun. Nabaka-clear nung report na yun. May mga sightings sa iba't ibang mga lugar sa US, sa Russia, sa China, and other parts of the world. Although dito sa Pilipinas, I don't know, meron na ba kayo nakita mga lumilipad-lipad dyan sa gabi? Although may mga drones, no? Especially mga vlogger, may mga drone dyan. Ang comment ko lang naman, personally, sa US, meron tinatawag na FAA, kanilang Federal Aviation Authority. So, I don't think na ganun kadali magpalipad ng mga drone. Dito sa Pilipinas, we have CAAP, and we also have Civil Aeronautics Board, CAAP, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines. Hindi rin basta-basta, I understand, hindi rin basta-basta magpapalipad ng drone dito kasi we need to secure a license from those agencies na tayo authorized to fly a drone. O, di ba? Hindi naman ganun kadali.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Vito Casella. And I just want to pose a question that I think is on millions of people's minds around here. What if there were 3,000 reports of drones or
3,000?
manned
Wow.
aircraft sightings over the
Dami
U.S.
na pala.
Capitol, or the White House, or the State House in Albany? What would happen? There would be an immediate and intense response to figure out what they were and to solve the problem. And yet, millions of people around here, New Jersey, of course, here in Staten Island,
Alright.
and beyond, are getting nothing but don't believe what you see. You know, there's a saying that we had after 9/11: if you see something, say something. I think that's become, if you see something, don't worry about it, because we saw it too. And the people of Staten Island deserve answers. The people of this city and state and region deserve answers of what the heck is going on.
All right, yes.
Just last night in my neighborhood, my neighbor sent a video of whatever it is flying over our house. And yet we're told, don't believe what you see. It's shocking to us that here we are almost a month later, 3,000 sightings, drones, manned aircraft, and our folks don't have an answer. We're calling upon not just the New York City Police Department, but others to get involved, get aggressive, figure out what these things are, and help at least alleviate some of the frustration, anxiety that many people share.
Tama.
This is 2024. They're either lying, or they're incompetent, or they're both. How?
All right. So, yun. Nako. Kawawa naman pala. Well, medyo very controversial nga pala talaga itong drone sightings in the US. Matindi mga concern kasi lalo na yung privacy ng tao, no? Privacy ng tao ang pinag-uusapan dito. Although binabanggit ng kanilang authorities, walang threat sa national security. I don't think, hindi pwede. Unacceptable yun. Ngayon, ang pangamba, ako personally, wala naman tayo sa US, although may mga kakilala tayo in the US. Of course, yung mga kababayan natin sa US, marahil mayroon din silang pangamba dyan. I'll try to contact with Norman Imperial, isa sa mga kababayan natin in the US, na sa paranormal din, at sa ufology. Kung ano yung feeling nila, no? Pero ako personally here, kahit nandito ako, nandito tayo, nafe-feel natin yung kanilang concern. Kasi kahit sabihin ng gobyerno na hindi to threat sa national security nila or sa kanilang privacy, ano yun? So they need some answers, no? Kahit naman dito, kung talaga meron tayong ganitong swarm of drones or anything, unmanned aerial system or unidentified flying objects sa paligid, ay mababahala tayo, di ba? Kahit naman sino, no? kung nangyayari nga yan sa mga bansa tulad ng US, ng UK, ng Russia, iba pang mga powerful nations, what more sa Pilipinas or any third world countries, ano? O, di ba? So, I think it's about time din sa ating mga officials dito sa Pilipinas to get ready kung may mga ganito mga problema na maharap natin in the future. Kasi, di natin alam kung ano ito, no? In the US, masyado na silang high-tech sa, mas advanced sila sa technology, sa monitoring nila, meron sila mga satellite-based na mga monitoring system, and yet, hindi pa nila ma-detect or maybe nagtatago. May sinatago. Di natin alam. Mahirap naman patunayan so far. Alam niyo naman ang Estados Unidos, maraming mga itinatagong hindi sinasabi sa tao, mga information. Yun na nga lang information sa UFOs, sa Roswell, at iba pang mga allegedly agreement between the government and the extraterrestrials. Hindi nga nila sinasabi, hindi nga nila inaamin, what more itong ganitong mga incidents. At siya nga pala, ngayon na rin pala yung start ng yung battle for disclosure na showing na sa Prime and also in Apple TV. Mukhang may bayad nga lang. Pero ito, and speaking of that, may nakita tayong discussion dito. Ito yung mga tao na doon sa battle for disclosure. Alamin natin ano ang kanilang pananaw dito sa nangyaring swarm of drones in the US. Alright, check natin dito. Ito ay nasa channel ng Third Phase of Moon. And I think talaga nagkaroon sila ng arrangement to discuss this matter. I think ito yung unang-una itinanong kay Dr. Stephen Greer, isa sa mga sikat ng mga ufology. And also Billy Carson ng for Forbidden Knowledge .com or company. Anyway, ito, pakinggan natin itong sinasabi, itong paliwanag, tanong kay Dr. Stephen Greer tungkol dito. Alright, here we go. Pakinggan natin ito.
Some backstory on that. These all began some months ago after a team of high-level black site defectors decided that they would come forward between now and early January with all the evidence and information from 6 different black sites that have been involved in shooting down the ET craft, the reverse engineering of them, the ET bodies, and the man-made, what they call ATs, which is advanced technology, which are the man-made UFOs, which are most of what people see. Now, of course, the covert transnational corrupt organization running covert UFO UAP programs knows this. And of course, they can monitor everything with or without an encrypted block. And they are now launching what we had predicted in the late 1990s, and that is a series of diversionary false flag events to confuse the...
Hi everyone, at ako pala si Makmak at welcome
Makmak, sandali ka na muna.
Training
Makmak.
Channel. At ngayon sobrang popular
Dalila,
the
Makmak.
public and the politicians and the
Bigla ka mo
Pentagon
sumisingit
as to what
Dalila, Makmak.
these UAPs are. So the whole
Okay.
launch of the drones that you're seeing in the United Kingdom, those started after I got back from the United Kingdom, providing briefings to the senior leadership of that country about this emerging disclosure that will be the biggest event in modern human history, frankly. The people coming forward are not secondhand or even minor firsthand. These are operators assigned to special forces who've now risen up to a senior position at these key black sites, and they will be unmasked. They will be named. They will have the evidence. They will have the proof. That's all happening in the next 30 days.
Very interesting pala yun, ha?
I'm telling you this because it is imminent. It's why I've been on a tour all over the world meeting with senior officials in the U.S. government, the incoming administration, the current leaders in the House and the Senate. In fact, I just got back from Washington last night. So that is what is happening. The drones are a predictable launch of a diversionary and a confusing event. They're certainly not extraterrestrial in HI. The pop culture now is
not extraterrestrial. Okay.
Term in HI craft. It's clear that they're able to have assets that are ground-based or in SIFs, subterranean facilities, or what some people call DOMs, deep underground military bases, where they can launch these sort of objects and create all kinds of confusion and alarm and panic.
Okay.
This is now breaking all into the mainstream news, just as this group is pivoting to disclose the facts and the real information. So this is a PSYOP, psychological warfare operation. We predicted it. We've been predicting it for 25 years. If you read my paper that I wrote in 1999, it's on our website, StephenGreer.com, and it states very pointedly that the actors who are keeping this secret will take the momentum of disclosure and try to turn it into an alien invasion scenario, a good versus bad alien scenario, a way to keep war running all over the world, and also aggrandize the military-industrial complex with trillions of dollars in new spending to create a countermeasure to the alien threat. So we know this was the plan that was hatched in 1953 or so at the CIA. We have documents to that effect, and that it would only take place because there had been a long-term, multi-decade psychological warfare operation that began in the late in 50s in earnest with the man-made UFOs, and then later where they were using altered humans, and then later robotic aliens to abduct humans and to instigate terrorizing events like mutilations. And on occasion where they placed these man-made UFOs over developing rural villages and blown up the whole village and killed dozens of people. Now, we have people on the inside who know all this. And so now, the incoming president doesn't know this, the Congress doesn't know this, and 99.9% of the Pentagon don't know it, but this is what's going to be coming out in part. And the very granular details of what this defection group is going to put out there, we don't know, but it will absolutely be dispositive proof. But also the fact that they've agreed to unmask themselves, meaning they'll be named, is new. I just learned that a couple weeks ago when the leader of that group met with me at my place in Washington, D.C. So we'll see what happens if they don't get scrubbed. I mean, if they're not assassinated between now and then, this is what's coming out, and I'm making an attempt. I sort of joke I've become the cosmic Paul Revere, going around trying to give a heads up to leaders around the world about this.
Matindi yun, di ba? Wow! Grabing revelation na yun ni Dr. Stephen Greer, ano ha? So, for him, this is all part of psychological warfare operation na gustong ipa-condition sa isip ng tao na itong ganitong mga sightings ay parang ipalalabas na itong mga sightings na to ay mga alien operated sightings, tapos gagawa ng paraan ang gobyerno, ang mga government programs against alien invasion. Wow! Pero definitely, based dun sa paliwanag ni Dr. Stephen Greer, ay hindi extraterrestrial origin itong mga drone na ito. Itong mga UAP na ito, itong mga UAS na ito, mga unmanned aerial system. So this all part of a grand plan na napredict na raw nila many years ago na maaaring mangyari. And I think ito kasama dun sa documentary nila, docu-movie na Battle for Disclosure. Wow! Well, sa inyo kung gusto po ninyo maniwala, but ito yung isa sa mga pinagkakatiwalaan sa larangan ng ufology, si Dr. Stephen Greer. Now, sa panig ni Billy Carson ng Forbidden Knowledge, paparinig natin to. I think ito na siya. Ito yung sunod na tatanungin sa kanya eh. Alamin natin kung magkakatugma sila ni Dr. Stephen Greer ng kanilang pananaw tungkol sa swarm ng drones in the US and some other parts of the world. All right.
He starts talking about this topic. It's almost scripted, or it is scripted. You can tell that all the outlets are saying virtually the same exact speech or pitch or whatever you want to call it. They've been written. Something's been written for them to regurgitate like parrots. And it's clear to see that what's happening and what's going on is something that's contrived and actually planned. You really get an idea, a sensation that this is something that they're trying to make so salacious. Like Dr. Greer said, eventually they're building up to how can we make money off of this UAP situation. They've already gone to every country and blown everybody up to bring quote unquote democracy. There's nobody else to take over. There's no more banks to install in other countries and puppet dictators to install. The last place is the space race. And how do you monetize that? They're tired of being held accountable for trillions of missing dollars that happen, every single quarter. They can't find this money. And now they can have a great excuse as to where the money actually went and say, look, this is what we did with it. It's been approved. We're building these space weapons. We have to defend Earth against these outside forces. And a lot of government contracts are going to get given out to these private corporations where we can't get a FOIA against them to see what they're actually doing with the money because it's private. And then what they'll do is they'll dump tons and tons of money into projects that will never, ever see the light of day. Most of them will never be developed. They'll always have an excuse why this particular thing didn't work out or we couldn't develop this particular idea. But they'll keep taking in billions and billions and billions of dollars. The CEOs and executives, the C-suite executives will keep taking on big paychecks. And then they'll say, well, this one failed. We need another, couple billion or couple trillion, whatever the number is. And we'll start another project for a different type of weapon. And they'll keep playing around like this for decades until they siphon all that money out of the U.S. government. Really, it's siphoning it directly from the people themselves. So this whole drone thing is nothing more than a control of the narrative. And it's just a prequel to what they really are probably doing, trying to create another Gulf of Tonkin incident, which happened, years ago, obviously, which is what thing that really kickstarted the whole Vietnamese War. They really utilized that whole lie about the Navy destroyer, the USS Maddox, which was patrolling off the Gulf of Tonkin. They claimed that they had an attack, but the radar and sonar didn't come back exactly as that. It had to admit years later that attack in some way didn't really happen, but that was a catalyst to create this Vietnamese war, this war against Vietnam, and which killed hundreds of thousands of Americans and generated trillions of dollars. So
don't forget, look at that. I couldn't agree with you more, Billy, because here's the other part of this, and that is the media, as you mentioned, the corporate big media, is integrated horizontally and vertically into this organization doing this. So, and what we've been saying that we can prove that through documents and what have you that we have. But the other part of it is that I called for about 30 years. I've been calling this entire plan to do a false disclosure and a psychological warfare spin on it as sort of a cosmic Gulf of Tonkin. That basically, to follow on with what you said, the outcry.
Okay. So, puputulin natin doon sa paliwanag niyan. So, based on these explanations, ano ba itong nakikita ko rito? NYC Mayor Eric Adams speaks on Public Safety Week. Kadali pakinggan mo nga natin to. Meron nang tayong live feed dito from Fox in the US. Alright, dali Okay.
You are seeing the recovery of this city at a pace that no one thought was possible. More businesses are open in the city history. More small businesses are up and operating in the city history. Our economy is thriving. Our workers are returning back to the office space. Our ridership on the subway system continue to increase. You're seeing a city that is leading the way on public safety in so many manners. And I'm committed to public safety. As a former police officer, I know how important it is, and we intend to build on the last 3 years of success as we move forward. And we came into office with that clear mission and that clear guideline. But what's interesting here, and I said it in January 2022, and I'm going to say it now, the numbers mean a lot, but how do people feel? The numbers have to reflect the feeling. People must be safe and they must feel safe, and that is exactly what we will continue to do. Overall major crime in the Times Square area is down 22% over the last 11 months. This reduction is robbery at down 6.9%. Grand larceny is down 29%, and a 63% drop in stolen cars.
Sandali lang.
The last 28 days.
Hindi pa binabanggit yung update about drone sightings, ano. Pero ito, merong mga panawagan dito. Sandali. Alright. Okay. Panawagan dito iba pang mga opisyal sa State Island sa US. Alright. Here we go.
20 years ago, they filmed War of the Worlds on Staten Island. And now, we feel like we're characters in that movie. What is happening is outrageous. Thousands of drones and unmanned aerial systems flying above us, and our government is not telling us who's operating them and for what purpose. I don't believe that the United States of America, with its military capabilities, does not know what these objects are. And what I'm asking, and what we're all asking, is for you to be straight with us and just tell us what is going on. As Vito says, this is creating havoc.
Yeah.
People are confused, they're concerned, they have anxiety, they don't know what's going on. There's all sorts of theories that are out there. And the best way to address this is to just be honest and tell the American people what is going on. These are not recreational drones. These are not, I don't believe, commercial drones, because if they are violating existing rules and regulations, which say that they need to be under 400 feet and they can't be operating in the middle of the night between sunset and sunrise. So that leaves two options. It's our government, or there's a foreign nexus. And so either our government is doing some type of surveillance activity or surveying, or what really would concern, I think, everyone, there's a foreign government that is doing this type of activity and surveillance. And they're doing it above sensitive infrastructure, Verrazano Bridge, this U.S. Coast Guard base, the Army installation across the water, power plants, ports. And so, again, just be straight with us, tell us what it is, and let's address it the best possible way so we can calm everyone down and make sure that these don't pose a threat to our national security and public safety. Because even if it is not nefarious, the fact that these things are flying all over is a public safety issue.
Okay.
There can be an accident. There could be an explosion.
Okay.
There could be a crash.
Yes.
This is a very densely populated area. And going back to the FAA restrictions, you cannot be flying these things above and around buildings if it's commercial or recreational.
All right. So let's go back to this press conference sa US, sa New York.
And to look at the other beautiful communities and neighborhoods we have in this great city called New York. No more anything goes on our streets, no more looking away, no more accepting an unacceptable atmosphere or climate. We came into office with a clear vision to make the city safe, and we have moved towards that vision, and Community Link is part of that. So the first time since 2018, 39 of the 40 Broadway theaters are open. 39 of the 40. During this week, Broadway increases attendance by 33%. and tourism this year is our city's 4th highest ever. As your mayor, you have my word. We're going to continue to bring people to this dynamic place to enjoy the city, enjoy all we have to offer. And that's the commitment that Commissioner Tisch has made as well, and all the agencies involved. So again, thank you to our partners. Let's continue to have this city as the safest big city in America. Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. The Mayor's vision is to transform the quality of life across the city by building multi-agency partnerships, a team of teams. And the bedrock of those teams are the Business Improvement District. And I'd like to introduce Tom Harris, the president of one of those fantastic team of teams, the Times Square Alliance, and that's Tom Harris. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor Parker. Thank you, Mayor Adams. Thank you, DA Bragg. And a special thanks to all the city agencies. Public safety is a team sport, and we all need to be on the field fighting to win. And in Midtown, we are doing that. This Midtown Improvement Coalition focuses on smaller issues and looks to bring the resources from all of the city agencies to solve those issues. From providing service and support to our most needy on the
Hinahanap ko yung ano eh. Hinahanap ko yung hinihintay ko yung about drone. Sana sabihin nila tungkol sa drone. Alright. Diba? Yun ang concern niya sa US eh. Yung drone safety. Although public safety binabanggit.
And that's a win. That's a win for him. That's a win for the city when we can use the resources that we have to solve those challenges. A community that works together is a community that works, and we have shown from this coalition that Midtown is working with all of the city agencies to solve the problems. Thank you again, Mayor Adams. Thank you, DA Bragg, and a special thanks to all of the city agencies.
Wala.
Are speaking on Public Safety Week and new initiatives. We are going to head back to that. We just do have to sneak in this 2-minute break. Thanks for watching Live Hour.
Ay, wala nangyari. Okay. So, that's it. Parang masayang lang ano. I need a good drone. Tingnan natin yung mga... What's the drone? Alright. Drones won't take me. I don't rate the drone over. Okay, most. Alright. Okay. So, going back sa ating discussion. Ngayon, ang tanong, bakit ka concerned, Sir Sibayan, sa nangyayari sa US? Of course, concerned tayo dyan kasi hindi lang siguro ako, kundi iba natin mga kababayan, especially mga kababayan natin na may mga kamag-anak sa US and other parts of the world, you know. Well, sa atin din, maaaring mangyari din yan. At although I think di naman ganun katindi yung problema kung sakasakali. Sana. Di natin alam yan. Pero, of course, itong issue ng swarm of drones in the US, UFOs in other parts of the world, for me, it's a big deal, ano. Kung totoo para sa akin, theories lang naman binabanggit na Dr. Stephen Greer and Sir Bill Carlson, ano, na this is all part of a plan to create a situation we are being invaded by extraterrestrial beings or merong threat from other galaxies or other beings. For me, malabong mangyari yung yung alien invasion di ba? Bumalabs. Kasi sa totoo lang, extraterrestrial beings are already here around us. We cannot see them. They vibrate in other dimension. They vibrate in other frequency. But they're already here around us. In fact, they are helping us to evolve. They are helping us to to ascend to the fifth dimension. So why they plan, or why there's a plan to, why we suspect na magkakaroon ng alien invasion? I don't think so. Kung meron man, maaaring merong ibang species ng mga extraterrestrials, but I don't think so. Kasi kung meron man, dapat matagal na. Kasi during ancient civilizations pa, meron ng mga extraterrestrials dito eh. Kaya nga merong tinatawag na ancient aliens, di ba? In fact, yung mga na-retrieve daw ng mga katawan sa Roswell, yun sa interview na nga lang, sa isang alien being na from a leak video sa Area 51, although dinideny na ito'y totoo, they came from the future of the human beings. Kaya nag-iba lang yung tsura nila because of effect nung naging problem na kinaharap ng tao at naging ganon. Iba ang itsura. Diba? And ang warning nila is about the abuse of artificial intelligence. Ito mga drone na to, I don't know. Mahirap isipin. Palagay niya, yung mga ba? Saan nga ba? Kasi kung dinideny ng government, ng US government na ito ay from military facilities, although nakikita yung mga drones over military bases and other sensitive facilities in the US, at dinideny na ito ay galing sa foreign countries like Iran, na sinasabi mayroon daw mothership. And dinideny din na ito ay may threats sa national security. I don't know. Kayo, kanino kaya galing itong mga drone na ito? Kung civilian drones yan, I don't think so. Kasi di naman siguro papayag yung FAA na naglilitawan yung mga drone sa paligid, no? Nang walang proper permission or authority. Yung Amazon, actually, di ba, nagde-deliver sila ng mga packages sa pamagitan ng drone. Pero I think, yun ay binibigyan naman ng permission ng FAA. Ha? So, bumalaps din yun. And especially, bawal pala ang flying of drones sa night time, from sunset to sunrise. O, di ba? Bawal yun. So, what are these drones are? Ano tong mga to, iiwan ko yung ganyang tanong sa inyo, no, ha? And you can post your comments below this discussion, tong video nito. We can discuss this again sa ating program sa Gabi ng Misteryo, and also future vlogs natin dito sa ating channel. Alright? So, salamat po, and thank you so much, and be safe always. Thank you for tuning in, and if you like this video, sa mga first-timers na nanood sa ating vlog, you can subscribe, you can like this video, and you can push that notification bell para updated tayo sa mga videos tulad ng ganitong pinag-uusapan natin and other interesting videos sa aking YouTube channel. Alright? Salamat po, and stay safe. Stay safe, everyone. See you all. See you again. Peace.